Okay, this is the collective energy analysis. And basically we have a lot of information coming through about the different light bodies and different densities, because if you aren't aware, we have a 3D 4D body with the energy centers, and when you start healing and harmonizing, the energy centers actually shift down. So they actually showed me this, and they showed me the 3 systems, the 3D 4D, the 5D, and the 6D, because that's all I work with, okay? And how they translate to help people understand the shift, okay? I'm getting a lot of repeating messages through the weeks. It's because this is an overriding message that many people need to shift and bring awareness to and make the changes, and then we'll see some more distinct shifts in the collective energy. But right now it's still about shifting into the 5D. It's about purification, it's about grounding. The overall issues that we've had, we're still having. It's probably going to be a theme for the next 5 or 6 years until we reach that tipping point, okay? So basically, I was shown the 3D system, and this is actually really hard to explain. Basically, we have the chakras. Root is 1 all the way through the cosmic, which would be the 11th chakra in the 3D system. So in the 3D system, they're showing me the stellar and soul star chakras, or gateways, are actually distorted. The crown looks good, third eye shut down, throat is distorted. Heart through root are actually good, and so is Earth Star, Earth Gateway, okay? Frequencies at about 600 kilohertz, so that's pretty high. You're ready to move into 5D. But we have the 5th, 6th, and 7th levels of the field, which are the highest levels of the field, are congested, so those need to be cleared. At 600 kilohertz, you can actually shift into the 5D system, okay? So they're actually showing me the shift. Then I was shown 2 blocks, one in the 5th level and one in the 6th level of the field, and that's where the congestion is, and this is the issue we're shifting right now. So those blocks have to be cleared. Okay, I didn't get into what these blocks are. Let me do that really fast and see what I can get. So the 5th level of the field is the etheric blueprint, so there's a good chance that you are absorbing the false AI template. Or these individuals are absorbing the false AI template. And the 6th level of the field has to do with divine love, so there's a kink in the connection to divine love or distortion there that needs to be cleared, okay? So let me see. 6. Okay, hold on. So the 5th seems to have to do more with too much compromise. So, and so you need to, what we really need to focus on right now as individuals is staying in alignment with our highest self and highest path, okay? And there's a lot of people that are distorted, their etheric blueprint is distorted, they're running the false AI template. So if you start harmonizing with those people and those energies, it's gonna pull you off path, okay? So there's an over-compromise there. You're doing too much or getting in the flow of lower vibrational energies, timelines, people that are not in alignment with your higher self. So you have to come back in and click in with that etheric blueprint. Okay, so that's the primary issue with the 5th level of the field. And the 6th level of the field is, let me look this up really fast. Okay, so the 6th level of the field is, it's very similar. There's possibly an issue with integrity where you're coming out of alignment with integrity. You need to speak and walk your talk, okay? You cannot, if you want to move into 5D and stay there, you have to stay in alignment with your highest self, with the highest good, and with your integrity, okay? So if there's manipulation or distortions in intentions or actions, then you won't be able to ground into 5D. So these actually need to be cleared before you move in there. So it could be an issue with integrity, compromise, or just a need to shift some sort of actions or behaviors so that while you're creating your reality, you're creating the positive light field, source connected divine reality, okay? So it's the law of cause and effect here, okay? So those are a few things that could be going on with those blocks. But those actually have to be cleared before you move into the 5D system. But what they're showing me is these three systems. So you have simultaneously, you're running all these systems, okay? You're running a system in 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, and 7D. What happens is if you are like a starseed light worker and you have descended into this reality of this 3D reality, there's a good chance that you're already a 60, 5D, 60, possibly even 70 being, and you've already built up those fields. And if that's the case, then you don't have to create or strengthen or build the field, okay? So we don't automatically have these fields. We have to, through spiritual work and frequencies and awareness, we actually build the upgraded chakras. We build the higher frequency light bodies, okay? And so 4D, if you're moving into 5D and you haven't built that yet, it's gonna take some time for you to construct the frequencies needed for that, okay? Many people can just jump over and ground. It's real simple. Okay, if you haven't, then you have to go through this process in 3D, 4D and begin building the 5D body while you're doing that, okay? And same with 5D to 6D. So that's what they're showing me, and they're also showing me the shift in chakras. So we can look at all of the bodies and kind of see what's strong and what needs more work. And from the 5D to 6D, what I've seen is people will begin building the 60 and they'll move into 60 fully, but they realize then they have some 5D blocks and energies and clearing needed, so they have to move back into the 5D to clear those. Same thing happens with 5D to 3D, 4D. So you have to move back, shift back, clear everything, and then you can anchor into that new light body, okay? But what we have is different timelines also. They're different densities, but different timelines. And so in this life, the galactic blueprint, which is the throat and the 5th level of the field in the 5D system, hold your highest potential timeline. So when that's activated, then you can rise to what your fullest potential is, okay? And that's in the 5D. So in the 5D system, what we're seeing is essentially you can see the shift in chakras. I go into all of this in the Academy, so if you want to learn more, that's where you need to go, and they're actually recommending that. It's really important to understand this if you really want to successfully make this shift. So in this system, we have the throat, the heart, the sacral's closed, the roots distorted. We have the same exact blocks, okay, because you're carrying them over from the 3D, 4D. But in this system, these blocks were all up here. You see how that works? All of these shift down because your energy starts harmonizing. And so the centers are actually holding higher frequencies than they were before. Okay, they have the same physical function, but it's a higher frequency of the physical function, okay? So, and then the frequency here is 900. So if you were running two timelines, we could look and say, well, you're running the 5D timeline or you're running the 3D timeline based on your frequency and which system you're working in, okay? Both of these people, or both of these scenarios, are grounding into the 3D core, and the reason why they are doing that instead of the 5D is because these blocks need to be cleared, these issues with integrity and cause and effect. So making sure, because once you're here, if you're not in alignment with integrity, then the repercussions, the karmic load is much heavier. Same with the 60. And so if your 5D energy system is distorted, we can look at the 60 energy system. It's not even activated. It's kind of starting to form. We can see a little bit there. This person's frequency is at 900. This one, you need to be 10,000 kilohertz or above. But we see it possibly beginning to form, but it's not active. You can't anchor into it, okay? So they wanted me to explain that how that's working. They're basically overlaid. You're working on all of them simultaneously, depending on your choices and decisions before you incarnated, what your path is, where you're from, how much work you've already done in past lives, spiritual presence. That will define the strength and the development of those higher bodies. So for work, we really need to work on the aqua heart, okay, the high heart field. So the frequencies of 639 of the angelic call to the high heart, soundscape meditation. We also have inspire the aqua heart, which is also a 639. Okay, so the aqua heart is activated in the 5D system, and this anchors your soul into the physical body. Okay, it is basically soul embodiment in the 5D system. Okay, that's the big shift. So that's what we need to work on and connect to in this. Okay, then we have the crystal core, grounding into the crystal core. That is a great meditation to help you make the shift as well. So I'm assuming you guys have already done the galactic healing attunement. If you haven't, that's something you would also need to do. Learning about the 5D system, gaining more information, so looking into the blog. And then we have the Kibujitsu wind, and this is about learning to go with the flow, movement, natural movement into the space without using force. Force is really the 3D, 4D energies. Okay, so this would be a good physical practice to start working with. Okay, so that was that. I hope that was helpful. See you next time.